Hello, my name is Tony Hernandez Pumarejo, your purpose-driven life coach, motivational speaker, writer, author, media collaborator, consultant, and advocate. I really appreciate you tuning in today to this new video. And if you haven't done so yet, I ask you to please subscribe, hit the like button, and share the word. Spread the word about my work, about this channel with everybody that you know. Family, friends, coworkers, anybody that you know. Because without your support and their support, we wouldn't have this channel. So I greatly appreciate you supporting the channel. And today in this video, we're going to talk about, what inspired me to become a certified life coach. Let me tell you that it was an interesting process in getting into my certification. And today I'm going to talk about, what got me interest in learning about life coaching, how did I got into taking courses to get my certification, and much more. So this is what we're going to talk about today in this video. So please don't leave and stay tuned. And as I mentioned, today we're going to talk about what inspired me to become a life coach in the first place. Coaching has been an interest for me ever since I started my work in being an advocate for people and families impacted by autism and also mental health, especially in regards to my personal story as a person diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. And because of the work that I do, and this is the reason why I say, as I also say in my previous video, that I have feel like I have been a life coach for years, even though I got my certification only about a year ago. And I feel like I'm being a coach because I've been there for those families and those human beings impacted by autism and also mental health. Being a guide for them, a support for them, through the most difficult challenges that, people with autism and mental health face. And through my life story, I have been like a guide, like a resource for these communities for now 11 or 12 years. Since the night that God gave me that purpose, that mission to help others just like me, impacted by the same disabilities that I have been impacted in my life, and I wanted to use my life story as a resource and to be able to help others. So you can say that the seeds were planted for me to become a life coach the moment I became an advocate for people impacted by autism and mental health. It was, and then, in fact, I even call myself a coach before I became a certified life coach. And the interesting thing is that I didn't know much about the coaching industry overall. It wasn't until about a year ago that I really began to seriously consider becoming a certified coach because, I was debating with myself as to whether or not I should get a certification. Coaching is an industry in which it is not regulated. There's not like a main entity or agency that regulates the coaching industry. There are associations across, around the world in which they provide certifications for coaching, but there's not like a government entity which regulates the coaching industry. That is the reason why you may see on social media or on YouTube or anywhere else for that matter, coaches here, life coaches there. Some coaches, a lot of coaches are not certified as a coach. Others are certified as a coach. And they're being coached, and there are coaches that don't have a formal certification. However, they are successful and they be able to build their programs, be able to build their brand. Same as with other coaches, they have a formal certification. As I said, there's different associations and entities out there that provide certification programs for coaching, but it doesn't necessarily mean, as it stands right now, it could change later on. Who knows? As I said, I don't know everything, but as it stands right now, you don't have to become you don't necessarily have to be certified to be a life coach, because again, the coaching industry is not regulated. However, also based on my experience so far in the journey that I'm in now, being a certified coach, I believe that having a certification has a lot of benefits, a lot of pros, and it's a great tool because having a certification for me, demonstrates to other people and potential clients that there's some type of preparation, that you invested money and you invested time into education, so that way you can get a certification which can help you with your reputation and help with the trust factor from potential clients. And that's the way I see it. And again, I was debating myself as to whether I should get a certification or not. And the real process of how I became certified was when one day I consulted with my mentor and friend, motivational speaker and also life coach, Javier de Jesus from Puerto Rico. And he recommended me to sign up or to join this certification program from a coaching school based in Spain, based in Europe. And I follow his recommendation, his advice, because he's where I want to be, in terms of being a life coach and a motivational speaker. So I follow his advice. I sign up for this certification program with this coaching school, and I started, my formal preparation to be a certified coach back in May of 2024. It was during this time as well, in May 2024, which I was going through a lot of process, a lot of things and changes in my life. Technically, that was the first, one of the few times that I'd taken a break from the social media and public view. But in reality, I was burned out and I was trying to explore new things, trying new things. And one of them that I did during that time period was to become a certified coach. So I started my certification program, and before my certification program, I kind of have an idea in terms of what I thought that coaching was. And I mentioned thought because once I started my certification, I realized that coaching a lot of times can be confused with other things in social media and in the real world. A lot of times, coach can be confused with, for example, a mentor, or coaching sometimes can be confused with a therapist or a counselor. Those terms a lot of times can get interchanged or exchange. Those terms can be exchanged, and people think that they're the same thing. And I mentioned in one of my reels that there's a difference between and as I was taught in my certification process, that there was differences between what is a coach, what is a counselor, and what is a mentor. Mentor provides recommendations and provides the solutions, so that way that his or her client be able to apply those recommendations. Mental health therapist, as you know, provides a formal mental health diagnosis. And a life coach, what I do as a life coach is to be a guide, a support for my clients in their process. If they're looking for a support in regards to resolving a situation or achieving a goal, to focus on the present. That's what I do as a life coach. I don't make recommendations. I don't do medical diagnosis or mental health diagnosis. So that's very clear to know that distinction between being a mental health therapist, a counselor, and a life coach. And as I began in my coaching certification, I began to learn more about coaching. I learned a lot of different things about what is and what is not coaching. I learned about the method that I was certified in which I study in order to do my coaching sessions. And it was an interesting process in regards to what I can do and what I cannot do as a coach. And to be honest with you, I struggle. I struggle a lot in the beginning of my certification because a lot of times I cannot identify myself with my client or put my or connect a very close connection with my client because that will be influencing his or her decision. That's one of the things that I learned as being as a coach doing my certification. So it was very interesting. I learned a lot in regards to questions. I learned about communication. And for me, taking the certification program not only helped me with just simply having the certification, so that way I can do my professional service as a life coach, but also it was a help for me in gaining that support and using coaching to improve my own life. And I can tell you, since I got that certification, that coaching has been a great tool and support for me in my personal life in so many ways, especially in regards to the power of questions. A lot of times, all of us, we're trying to find the answers to our problems, right? What is the answer? How can I do this? How, I need the answer now. But a lot of times we overlook in regards to the power of making effective questions that can lead us to where we want to go in our lives. So it is very important to learn about the power of coaching, also in regards to communication, how to work with your client, empathy, listening more than talk. That's an area that, for example, I need to work on, not only as a coach or as a professional, but also as a human being, because one of the habits that I have is about interrupting people and making doing interruptions, which is something that even to this day I still getting better, but I'm focusing on learning, not only listening, but also understanding other people, understanding why they do what they do, why they believe in that. For me, that's very important as a life coach to focus on that. And overall, you know, my experience gaining my certification was outstanding. I was able to get my certification. I practiced with my client as part of the coaching program, and I was able to get certified back in August of last year. And it's an ongoing process. My education and my preparation didn't end once I get my certification. I continue study books, read materials, watch videos of other coaches, continue to study, because this journey of becoming a coach and being a coach doesn't end with your certification. It is a lifetime journey, just like education. Education doesn't end once you leave school. Education continues on into the day in which God calls you and saying, "Time to go from this world." So um, that's what I continue to do. And my focus is to continue to learn, find ways to help you if you're interested and you're looking for a coach, or if you know anybody that is looking for a coach. My goal is to be to help you and help my clients come up with the solutions to help them solve their problems or to achieve their goals. Again, I don't impose a solution. The solution has to come from the client. So that's the way that I work my coaching sessions, especially as a purpose-driven coach. With my overall goal as a coach is for my clients to not simply get the tools to just achieve goals or to solve their problems, but for my clients to obtain the tools and the supports so that way they can achieve their purpose, they can achieve and fulfill their potential in this world, regardless of who you are, where you come from, your background, your story. each of us as living beings, as human beings, have a purpose in this world that God gave us in this world. And my goal is to be that tool, that support, that resource out there for my clients to get the tools that they need to achieve their potential and fulfill their purpose. So that's a summary of what I do as a coach. Hopefully, you're able to take something away from this video. If you haven't done so, again, please subscribe to my channel. If you're looking for a coach, if you're looking to go to the next level, or if you're facing a challenge and you need that support, please go to my website. I'm going to put the link right down below my video, so that way you can learn more about my coaching services, and I'll be more than happy to help you in your journey. Again, I appreciate you from taking time away from your busy schedule to tune in and watch this video. In terms of why I became a coach, what inspired me to become a coach, I wanted to use my life story overall, not only as an advocate for autism and mental health, but my life story, and now be able to help more people to achieve their potential. So hopefully you're able to take something away from this video that can be a great blessing for you in your life. And please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Tony Hernandez Pumarejo, Purpose Driven Life Coach, and I wish you a wonderful and blessed day. Thank you so much.